You are hereby summoned to attend a meeting of Hemsworth Town Council to be held in the main hall, Hemsworth Town Council Community Centre, Bullenshaw Road, Hemsworth, commencing at 7:15 on the 3rd of July 2025 for the purpose of transacting the following business. Number 1, apologies for absence.
Councillor Sean and Mr Middleton and Councillor Gennady.
Declarations of interest. Council should disclose a pecuniary or non-pecuniary interest in any items on this agenda. Minutes. To approve the minutes of the council meeting on the 12th of June 2025 as detailed in the minute book 2025-2026. Has everyone received the minutes? Can I propose to move the minute? Ian? No. You want to propose? I'll second. All in favour? All against? Abstentions? To adopt the minutes of the Finance Committee on the 12th of June 2025 as detailed in the minute book 2025-2026. Has everyone received these minutes? Yep. Can I propose to move?
Yeah, second.
All in favour? All against? Abstention? Item number 4, accounts for payment. To confirm the payment of accounts for March 2025, has everyone received the accounts for March 2025? Can I propose to approve the payments for March 2025?
Second.
All in favour? All against? Any abstentions? To confirm the payment of accounts for May 2025, has everyone received the payments list for 2025, May 2025? Perfect. Can I propose to confirm the payments for May 2025?
All second.
All in favour? All against? Abstentions? Item number 4, item number 5, income. To review the council's income for March 2025. Did everyone receive the income for March 2025?
Yeah.
And can I propose to move it?
All second.
All for? All against? Abstentions? To review the council's income for May 2025. Did everyone receive this?
Yeah.
Can I propose to move it?
Can I just say something?
Yeah.
I just want to congratulate the Borough Council on taking this for me. Altogether, it's about just over 15,000 for that month, and I think that's brilliant. If we can do that throughout the summer, I'll be pleased.
Hopefully we can do better than that in the summer.
Hopefully we can do that.
Yeah. Can I propose to move the income for May 2025?
Second.
All for? All against? Abstentions? Item number 6, casual vacancy. To note that an election has not been called in respect of the casual vacancy in the South West Ward.
Yeah, Chair. This is already a matter of public record through Wakefield Council, but just to formally report that an election hasn't been called, so the council now has the option to co-opt. I suggest that we advertise that fact and invite applications, and then the council can, at the next full council meeting in September, decide whether it wants to co-opt and if it would like to co-opt any of the applicants.
Okay, can I propose that we invite members of the public to put themselves up to co-opt? Deadline for the meeting on the
first week in September.
first week in September, which I. So yeah, can I propose that we advertise for the vacancy to be filled by members of the parish for the meeting in the first week of September?
I'll second it.
All for? Against? Abstentions? Grant, to consider a grant from the 13th, 18th Royal Hussars. Anyone here from the Hussars? No.
I did read it, I can't remember if they asked for a specific amount.
500.
Yeah, Chair, they've asked for 500. The application predates the change in the policy. The current maximum amounts, as per our policy, is £200.
Has everyone read the grant request? Can I propose that we award the grant in line with our current grants policy?
Yeah, I'll second that.
All for? Payment of accounts, to approve the payments of accounts for July 2024 in accordance with the procedures approved under minute number 86/11/795. Has everyone received accounts?
Can I just say there's 3 payments on there for Fitzwilliam again, like there was on other ones, that's what I'm saying for. So I'm just questioning why the 3 payments for Kingsley for electric, sorry, Kingsley and Fitzwilliam for electric and gas. The first one, 140.
They're from different periods, Chair.
Yeah, they're dated, so.
They are dated.
But they've all been paid in July.
Right,
Yeah.
so,
Can I just say that this is why the chair falsely claimed that Fitzwilliam and Kingsley Centre had overspent by 44%. Well, they would have done if they're paying all them in 1 month. There's some from last year, so begs the question, why wasn't it paid last year?
make a difference.
It does make a difference, it's false accounting that. If it says that to charity pool, it's false accounting because you've got electric and gas from community centre, Sandygate and Fitzwilliam all rolled into one. One bill there, then 2 separate bills for Fitzwilliam.
I have asked
They are accounted separately, Chair.
they are from last year, Kev, from last October, November, December, but the thing is, the gas bills are coming for Fitzwilliam Centre at £800 and £900, so why is there a big increase from what's on them papers to now? And you can't say winter.
I don't know, Chair.
Well, that's the bill.
If Fitzwilliam Centre are getting gas bills at £800 a month, that is 8,400 just for bills. You stated last year we were 9,000, and on top of that 8,400 you've got your electric, you've got your water and all that, so you can't have overspent by that much, can you? I've asked them to look into that because that's a big...
Chair, so...
The chair claimed it would have overspent of 44%.
So what needs to, like, that's a problem, we need to contact the gas board.
Do you think that
We're working...
in future then could we have separate bills?
They are separate bills, but it's...
The first one there is electric gas, Com Centre, Sandygate and Fitzwilliam.
Yeah.
And there's someone's got water park on as well.
Because we have to pay bills for Sandygate, the water park, Fitzwilliam Centre and the park monthly.
I think what's confusing about these gas and electric bills, you've got your own bills at home. So if you're a utility for your gas and your electric, you are not going to pay a bill for if British Gas bills you same month. You're with one company, and there's about 3 companies on there for Fitzwilliam Centre.
Have they all got different meters?
No, you should have 1 meter for.
If I remember rightly, you've actually got a company that deals with your bills and negotiates
Answer that question.
your
We-
prices
we-
when you're told that.
We do have a broker, yeah, for our energy bills. The company in question, Energy, it's a new company which has just been brokered for us. Only which, obviously, it goes back to the end of last year. I'm not sure why so many bills have come in. Must have been an error of billing. Why so many have come in one go, but they have, unfortunately.
Well, if
So
they've been
we have
paid
to
and
pay
it's an
them.
error and it's their error, we need to look into it, don't we?
Now Sandygate up it's one for the community centre.
So January 2nd, we had an electric bill for Fitzwilliam Centre at £137. On the 4th of January, we had a gas bill for Fitzwilliam, Eyre, Sandygate and Lakeside, which were 3,000 and odd shared between four. Then end of January 26th, we've got a gas bill for Fitzwilliam Centre for £8,000 and plus another electric bill. I think it just needs looking into.
Have you changed supplier and that's why you've got more than one bill? Because you'll have finished with one.
It's
and then
constant
started
though, yeah. Is there any arrears on them?
Now these
No,
look like
the-
weekly payments as opposed to back pay because
They
of Sandygate you've got
they do
70
share,
40.
but the dates are monthly. So Sandygate does use a lot less gas, to be fair. I'll certainly look into it though, Chair.
We
See
need
what's-
isolation
see
and
what the
each
issue is.
bill so we know what we're paying for. Then we don't get stupid comments like, oh, they've overspent by 44%.
Can we also look at the, for July, you've put payments for Lakeside, I think that's an error.
Is that an error?
The gas bill for
It should-
late that.
No, we should.
That should be both
Both.
bills, shouldn't it?
Shouldn't be a gas bill.
No,
for
that'll
late
always
that,
be a-
yeah.
I suspect, that will be an error.
Surely we're not buying
We,
food.
we're certainly not buying, we are certainly not buying food for the Lakeside, no.
So that needs
So it's
answering.
been programmed in and it works on the code, so
I-
it'll just
that's-
the codes
yeah,
need
I
changing.
suspect that, yeah, that was just, in fact, it's definitely, we wouldn't be being billed
No.
in July for food that we bought in January or earlier, so yeah, that's certainly it.
Everything's logged on the
Side
computers via a code, so each thing has a separate code to it, so obviously the codes just haven't been updated and it's still using the Lakeside's code as opposed to the new buildings code. I assume that once a code is generated for Boathouse, that it'll then
We
go
have
to
had
Boathouse.
bills, we have had bills for Boathouse, so it's just an error.
Yeah, I think we have to put
Yeah.
it in as well as
It's just an
all
error.
previous ones.
Okay, yeah, it's a typo, effectively, Chair.
Right, so I propose to approve the payments for July 2025. All four. Against?
Effectively, Chair.
Okay. To consider the process for payment of the accounts in August 2025.
It is, yeah. So there isn't a scheduled town council meeting in August, Chair. So what I would suggest the council do is, authorise, as per our financial regulations, the chances are myself I would already be authorised to approve those payments. What I would suggest is that we send a list of payments to be made, as we do monthly, to all members and invite comments, whether it be agreement or disagreement from those. Obviously, if we get any disagreements, we'll hold those payments back until those are resolved, and then retrospectively approve any payments made in September on my recommendation.
Can I ask, our bank balances today, as on the 27th of June, is £123,511.31. As on the 31st of May, it was £246,790.86. Take them away from each other, it's half 123,000. So we're left with 123,000, and we've got July and August. You've got 105 in wages. Are we going to be able to cover August, or are we going to have to?
Well, yeah, but we'll certainly cover to the end of August in terms of paying salaries. That'll certainly be done. In terms of other payments, yes, if we expect our payments and our income and expenditure to be roughly the same as it has been now, both will be slightly more, but in line with each other. We will spend in the region of about 120 to 150,000, but we'll also bring in at least 60,000 by that amount. So that needs to be factored in when forecasting.
So last August, we brought 53 grand in from all centres. That included Lakeside, which brought more in. This year, have you factored in that Lakeside opens in July, and they will be serving food? So that will be a drop.
Not necessarily, Carol, because the amount of money that was spent on food and beverages for the Lakeside were astronomical. Actually, you were always at a loss. You were never making profit. Even in summer, the amount of money that was spent on food and that was wasted was absolutely terrible. You were constantly making a loss. Constantly.
I think at this stage as well, because how well it's doing and how we're going on with weather, everything's bouncing along, so I can't see a possibility that anything's going
Right,
on.
so
You've got to take into consideration weather changes and stuff like that.
Yeah, you can't forecast.
So
No, you can't. So you can't forecast that we're going to get 60 grand in.
right, can we all go through the chair, please?
The thing is, Chair, it's not looking at doom and gloom all the time.
It's not looking at doom and gloom, and the new bar 1988 and the boathouse were always set to have two different clientele. We will still be looking at gaining the majority of custom from people in the surrounding area, looking for a cheap day out, wanting a bag of chips and to sit next to the lake. So I think we will do quite well in the summer, just for regular families that just want to drop on down the park and have a sandwich.
Can I just say as well, Chair, it's lovely to see community groups bringing coach loads of disabled towards the breakfast and things at Boathouse, which they've been doing. Yep. So I applaud them. 2 coaches from Stroke Society, so it's getting well used by a lot of people. It's accessibility, it's for everybody, and it's nice to see.
We're a lot of nurses.
Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
To add to my earlier recommendation, Chair, I will advise members of our cash flow situation in August when the payment list is sent out, and obviously we'll make the best decision at the time.
Have we done a risk assessment, Andrew?
There was a risk assessment, and Andrew said on the extraordinary meeting that it just needs to be slightly reviewed and brought back to council.
Sorry, just kind of, yeah. It is complete as far as I can see, but council has had enough time to review it at the meeting, so I'll have to come back to.
So as budget for this year, is it still up to date, Andrew? Are we still on target? Because we've had a lot of bills for last year. Has that come out of this year's precept, or?
It generally depends on 2 things. Firstly, when we became aware of it. If we weren't aware of it at year end, then we couldn't factor it into last year's budget, but also materiality. If it's a small amount, then we don't consider it material and wouldn't factor it in. In terms of any large amounts, yes, it will be factored into the relevant year, and would also be factored into the budget reports that are presented to Finance Committee. So yeah, just to remind members, yeah, the previous Finance Committee meeting that just occurred, expenditure is at about 16, just short of 17%, so almost on target, and income at 20%, which is around 4% over.
Right, Ian, last question, please.
Talking about risk assessments and such like, it was stated in the full council meeting on the 5th of December that we were okay to the end of the financial year. 15 days later, an extraordinary meeting was called on the 20th of December for the 2nd of January to withdraw money from the deposit account. What changed in those 15 days between saying that everything was okay and then calling an extraordinary meeting?
So projectively, we were okay. However, we had cash flow issues where we needed invoices to be paid that wasn't paid, and we just couldn't get the cash in quicker than we needed it. So the money retrospectively was there, but it didn't come in when it was supposed to.
That's okay, decision.
Oh, yeah. Right, so can I've got an email.
My
To essentially retrospectively pay August's.
no, sorry, to authorise me to make payments in August with the agreement of all council members.
Right, so I propose that we give the clerk authorisation to pay August's payments. If any councillor has any issues with the payments in August, then to contact the clerk so the clerk can hold said payment before it's sent. So that was not.
And then to retrospectively ratify those in September.
And then to retrospectively ratify those in September. Right. Well, Gary seconded it. All in favour?
Yep.
All against?
Oh God.
Item number 9, public question time. To receive questions from members of the public and to receive any reports from community meetings. Val? Liam's just going to get you.
Does that mean that the community centre is okay for the near future? Or is it still thanks to some?
With budget cuts, we should be on track to be fine. I don't want to go and make promises again saying everything's great, because we ended up with cash flow issues at the end of last year that weren't predicted, and I can't predict cash flow issues, I'm afraid, but you know, most people go on projected income as opposed to I mean, projectively, as long as we stick to the budget cuts, then yes, I can't give a definite forecast, but projectively, yes.
We just have to do what we can, don't we?
We're getting there.
Yep, through.
Kathy?
Pity everybody doesn't agree.
Councillor Ian McGinney actually said about the income for the boathouse being 15,000. Is that purely the boathouse? Is there other revenue coming in from like the pedlos and everything else? And also, have we had any money back from the chap receive that money?
In reverse order, regarding the income from the inflatable, the percentage, it was 33, well, a third of the income. I believe we have. We certainly have a column for it. But I can't see a figure, so I'm not sure whether it's been received or not.
No incomes come to full council.
No.
No incomes come to full council for it.
Because obviously it's been going since
February, March.
Yeah.
It got passed in March, I believe.
So surely we should have had some
Yeah.
income by now.
Sorry, Chair, whilst you're looking at that, do you want me to go through those boathouse figures for the public?
You can. I've got them in front of me. If it's easy for me to.
Kathy, I'll just answer your question there. Regarding the boathouse takings, yes, you're right, it does include some other things in there. But drinks, we've took £4,967 for drinks. Food, can't see it.
Just over 5,500.
5,500. Soft play 0, obviously. Ice cream, 149 quid. Car parking, 2,365. Marine, is that the Pedlos? Pedlos, just short of 2,000. Sweets, 200. Fishing, £3.75. No toys. Duck food, £47. No functions, and over/under 0. So in total, that did come to 15,311. And that's the money that I believe that goes through Boathouse.
It does. And just to answer what I think was the first part of your question, there was also from the rest of the water park, there was about 10,500 came in as well in the same month.
From Playworld.
From Playworld, I won't break it down, but yeah, Playworld, car parking, ice cream, drinks, food, everything else.
So do you know what did it balance out, or did we make some money? Because obviously I don't know how much you spent on food, how much you spent on ice cream, how much you spent on this.
I don't have the profit and loss figures to hand, I'm afraid, Chair.
We don't have the profit and loss figures to hand, but we can certainly look into that. In regards to the bouncy castle, I can't actually remember it coming to council whether it was going to be monthly, quarterly or yearly, that payment, so that will have to be looking into the contract job.
Did we give him a contract?
We will have a contract.
Yeah, written agreement, yeah.
So yeah, we'll look into whether it's quarterly, monthly, yearly, and then give the public a figure.
There's not being funny really, it should be quarterly, because if you do it yearly, if he suddenly decides
that he doesn't
he's
want
backing
it,
in, then you're basically one of these.
It's one of those that we will have to just check what was written. We agreed for the delegated authority to delegate authority of the contract to the clerk, so the council's haven't seen a contract for that. So I can't give you an answer of whether it's monthly, quarterly, yearly, or whatever. But we can find out for the next meeting. And
what about Lakeside? Have you received anything from there, that contract? Have you been signing the contract for Lakeside?
I can't really discuss that in public at the moment, I'm afraid.
Elaine?
Can I just ask, you know, on the casual vacancies advertised,
Yeah.
the process will also be included, what you have to do to put yourself
The
forward?
process will be included, but it is members of the public will write a statement just about why they want to be on the council, and essentially asking the council if you can join, because you're not going to election, you're asking councillors why you're the best candidate to join the council. So you will be asked to write a written statement of, yourself and why you want to join the council. Jason?
3 questions.
Fine.
Well, first one's not really a question, and it's not a dig at any particular council either, so please don't take it that way. And I know there's a lot of sort of rifts behind the scenes between members of council, and whether that's right or wrong, not for me to say. One thing that's frustrating as a member of public sat here is abstentions. So I completely agree with saying yes or no to something, and I think that's right. Abstention's there to be used in really special circumstances, in my opinion, and I think abstention just really says, well, I don't want to vote, I can't be bothered to think about it, so I'm just going to abstain. I really do think that as a councillor, in the position you're there to represent the public, and you're there to make decisions that are to the benefit of the public, and an abstention is a wasted vote. It should be a yes or a no. And as I say, you know, there's lots of reasons why people may decide to do that, but just please think about it. If you're going to abstain, make sure to yourself you can justify that you sat there in a position that means something, and the public here, we don't get a say, we don't get a vote other than when we vote you in. So just think about that. So that's number 1.
So as far as I'm aware, Jason, in larger district meetings, if you abstain, you are supposed to give a reason as to why you are abstaining, which I know Ian has done previously. If he hasn't been at the meeting and hasn't received the minutes, then Ian's abstained from voting, which is fair enough. But in larger council meetings, you are ideally supposed to give a response as to why you wish to abstain.
Yeah, and as I say, this isn't genuinely isn't a dig, because tonight a couple of people have abstained, some nights other people have abstained. It's not that, it's just, you know, you're there to make a decision. Don't sit on fence, say yes or no, and then back yourself with that decision you make. That's what you're there to do.
Maybe do you want to respond?
I just want to respond regarding that, Jason. There are occasions, as Beck has just mentioned, where I haven't received paperwork, so I've abstained. But there has been occasions where I've agreed with part of the accounts, I'm just going to mention accounts, I've agreed with part of them, but I haven't agreed with others because I've got questions about them that haven't been answered. So that's why I can't agree and I can't disagree. So I can't say yes, I agree, I can't say no, I don't agree. So that's why I abstain.
And as I say, Ian, there you go. You've given a reason, you've abstained for a reason, and it's justified. However, in my opinion, this is personal opinion, in my view, that would be a no. And it's a no for good reason, because you've asked for information, you've not been provided it, so you cannot support that vote. And in my mind, that is, but it is a personal thing, I get that, but all I'm saying is tonight, I think we had near enough an abstention on everyone but 2 decisions. Well, that to me, that's not having information. That's, you know, there's other reasons behind it. So all I'm saying is abstention's there, can't stop using it. Just think about it when you're going to abstain. You know, if you can put yourself in a position to say yes or no, I think that's serving the public. Abstaining, I don't believe, is serving the public.
Right, okay, Jason, question number 2. I'm like,
can I just put
it's fine.
Can't we put that in our standing orders, Andrew, because we haven't changed the standing orders yet?
You can't remove abstention from a standing order.
There's no in a standing orders, that's what I'm saying. Can't we put in a standing orders?
Sorry, it's in statute.
Yeah,
it's in the Local Government Act, so it can't.
I'm saying more to you as individuals. You're there for us, you're there to represent us. If you're going to abstain, you know, it should be few and far between. Is all I'm saying.
At least give a reason for it.
Or give a reason, you know, whichever. Yeah.
Right, Jason, question 2.
Question 2, Fitz Warden. So, you're all crying out for money, no money in bank. We've not had an update, nobody knows where it's at. It's not come to consultation to say you're progressing with the sale. We know you're obviously progressing with the sale, but it's not come forward for an exchange contract. I'm not aware a planning application's been submitted. It's over 2 years ago. There's anywhere between 1.5 and £2 million, depending on what the offer is you accepted, of money that should be coming into the council, that should have been in well before now. You know, as a council, why are you not doing something about that?
I'll be as quick as I can, Chair, because I'm conscious of time. So, yeah, an offer has been accepted. I can confirm that. And beyond that, I can't say much. Only that, I mean, I spoke to the conveyor today. I know I can't update you much, I'm afraid, but it's a lot of work is going on in the background to progress this sale. I'm afraid I can't say.
I'm not trying to kibosh the deal back. I'm over it. You've moved on. I get that. This is more about. This is 2 years. In that 2 years, I think we've done 5 deals and fully completed on subject planning deals. You're doing a subject planning deal, and have you exchanged contracts? You're allowed to tell us that. So if you've exchanged contracts, you've not come to consultation about exchanging contracts. And if you've exchanged contracts, that means you've another 18 months for a planning application before you receive the monies. As public, when you all sat there as councillors without a penny spare, and you're talking about running out of money here, running out of money there, you know, you have an obligation to make sure that money comes in. We're 2 years on, nothing's happening, and we don't get updated. And you can't keep hiding behind, you can't say much more. Yes, you can't talk contractual, but, you know, you've got to forecast when that money's coming in. That should be public information. Not how much, but, you know, you're all sat there as councillors. Do any of you know what's happening?
No.
Ian? Carol?
No.
No.
None of you?
No. No.
Becca?
I know it's been happening in the meetings that everybody's had.
Do any of you know the contractual position of that land? Any of you?
As far as I was aware, it wasn't delegation.
And without being rude, you're as councillors. And you sat there complaining about what money you haven't got, why we can't do stuff, why old OAPs can't go on bus trips this year. Every one of you. And you should be holding people accountable for where this is at. And this isn't me got monk on because I didn't win the land. I'm past it. This is me saying as a council, you sat there, and why do you not know?
There was a meeting back end, was it the back end of last year or?
Last year? We're coming into July.
We have
month 7.
So we have delegated authority to the clerk to just speak between the surveyor and then.
And rightly so, it's the clerk's job on a day-to-day basis. Yeah. Right. I'm asking you. Do any of you know the position? No.
His job is to report back to you though.
So.
Right.
What's happening?
I'm not going to sit here and listen to members of the board. No, my job is or isn't, Chair.
Okay.
Say that out loud. Sorry,
no,
Andrew.
No.
Say that out loud, please.
Right. So
if you're going to make a comment in a public meeting,
I made a comment to the chair.
Please make it.
I made a comment to the chair.
Right. So
can I make a comment then?
If it's regarding a member of staff, then no.
Okay, Becca, how's my complaint doing?
It's.
When did I make the complaint?
More complex than I really wanted to be, Jason.
When did I make the complaint?
To me or officially?
So 2 dates. There's an official date I made a complaint, and then there's a date that you took over. Yep. So we're in a public meeting, and I'm asking you, as Vice Chair, okay, why are you dealing with that complaint, Becca?
Because
You can answer this as a straight position.
Okay.
Why have you been asked to handle the complaint?
Because you asked me.
No, I didn't ask you.
Well,
no,
in the meeting that you the clerk had, I offered, whilst you were there, to take control of this complaint.
I disagree. The complaint has been handed over to you because of what? Who would normally handle a complaint in the council?
And it's one of these where I'm really not going to point the finger at anyone.
I'm not asking you to point the finger, I'm asking you to answer a simple question in a public meeting.
But it's bordering public operation now.
No, it's not. I made a complaint which is supposed to be handled by the clerk as far as your policies go, is that correct?
But then in the matter in
No,
which
Is it
Jason,
yes
in
or
the
no,
matter in
Becca?
which that you're now trying to, publicly in a public meeting point, it is pointing
Only
the
because
finger
of the
it
response.
could borderline publication.
Right. Who's dealing with the complaint?
Me.
When was the last time you responded to me?
The last time I responded to you was a couple of months back, and you never responded to me. And then you said in a meeting that you couldn't respond to me because you'd spoken to your solicitor and you were advised not to email me.
So we're sat here, not one of you members of council know where you're up to with that land. You all know the financial position you're in, and none of you know. So that's one thing. Second thing, a councillor is having to deal with a complaint because the person who's supposed to deal with the complaint has acknowledged he's conflicted in that complaint, to which a dialogue from a serving councillor in an open meeting.
I would just like to point out to you there, Jason, that there are at least 2 councillors saying that that never happened.
There is a video recording.
Oh, there is a video
Of
recording,
a
and I know there's a
councillor
video recording, but I'm
stood up
telling you that 2 sitting councillors at this table have said that I'm a liar and that that never happened, and even though it's on a recording, I am a liar, and the quote that you are looking for never happened.
Right. I think it's clear. There's a recorded meeting where a serving member of the council stood up and admitted to having a secret meeting with a developer outside of the agent with, and he didn't say who other than clerk, with the clerk. Is that correct? Yeah, video recording. I then raised a complaint. The complaint went through the process to the clerk. The clerk has then acknowledged he's conflicted and handed the complaint to you. Is that correct?
Yes.
So we're talking about this same piece of land that then not one member of the council, even though there's a complaint where the clerk has admitted he is conflicted, not one of you know the position of that land. Is that right?
I am led to believe that at the last meeting we agreed unanimously for what was happening with that land.
But what I'm saying is none of you know. None of you know the position. None of you know what's happening, when it's happening.
But it hasn't changed from the point that that meeting was held. So the councillors do know what's going on.
If you can sit there and genuinely believe that you should not be aware of the position, what's happening and when it's due to happen, that's fine. But as a member of the public, strongly disagree.
I can't disclose where that is.
I'm not asking you to disclose to me.
But I can tell you now that it hasn't. I know you're not, but what I'm saying is the council are aware because it hasn't progressed any further than what it did in the last meeting where it was discussed and where the council unanimously agreed.
Yeah, all your banks are empty.
To the thing.
All your banks are empty. You've got a pot of money that should be in with you, and none of you know what's happening with it. I'm just pointing it out. I just think it's astonishing that we can be in this position where we've cut back on everything. Yes, we've cut back because people didn't vote for a precept rise, but there's another way of getting money into the council, and it's been sat there for 2 years. There's a complaint in, there's a conflicted position, and nobody outside of that conflicted position knows what's happening. That's all I'm pointing out.
But
and you're supposed to be representing us. No, the council don't know, Becca.
Well,
the clerk knows.
Nothing has changed.
The council don't know.
Nothing has changed from the meeting in which every councillor sitting here and not here, nothing has changed than what was voted on in that meeting.
Okay.
So they do know what position.
Well, I've just asked every one of you and you've all said no.
Because they're assuming that...
Ian, do you know the position on the land?
From the meeting that the developer, the agent who's dealing with it, I'm trying to find it in here, what date it was.
I think it was June last year.
I think it might have been June last year.
12
That was the last we had heard regarding it.
12 months, and you've not got a penny in bank. And you're telling me that, and that supposedly you knowing where it stands. Honestly, you know.
Can I just say, Jason, there was a committee set up for this. They should have been looking at this and coming back to council. Full council's not heard anything. That committee is now finished, so I don't know where they stand now.
I've never heard of any committee.
Okay, well, look, I've said the piece on that one. I'll move on to my third one if that's all right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, P&L. So, great that you're reporting 15 grand, but that's turnover. Means nothing. You turned over tens of thousands of pounds at the old cafe before it got took over. but you lost money every month. So, what's the point of reporting you've made 15 grand? You've not said how much your expenditure is, how much your wages are. You might have turned over 15 grand, but you might have spent 20. As councillors, turnover's great and you need to know turnover, but you should never be in a position like we've had tonight where Kathy said, that's great, 15 grand, how much profit? Oh, we don't know, we haven't got a P&L. P&L is the only thing that matters in any business or in any council. Everyone can turn over money.
I suggest we bear that in mind for future reporting, Chair.
Everybody can turn over money. You can sell some at half price so that you get lots of turnover. Don't mean you're making money. So, as a recommendation, I'd be saying to all of you as councillors, any numbers that you're going to bring to council, you as councillors want to know what the profit is. So yes, what was the turnover, what was the expenditure, and what was the P&L?
And I'll ask the clerk to note that.
Yeah, I've noted, Chair.
Perfect.
Councillors are quizzing
Right,
finances,
so
Jason, but
is
we're
that
not
it
getting
for
it through.
public question time?
Or answering
Yeah,
Jason.
right, the meeting's now closed.